Greetings. In this tutorial, we're going to be covering customizing the My Club member chain. So before I begin, in order to get to this tutorial and the downloads, you have to come to the My Club website. You can either browse through Learning and Resources, or you can just ask Izzy. If you ask Izzy, just type in chain, after you've given her your name, of course, and she'll pull up the AltspaceVR wearable chain and customizable charm tutorial. Click that in order to download the files and resources. So let's begin. So first of all, when you unpack the zip folder, you'll notice you have textures. This is the texture that I'm going to be using in this tutorial. I'm providing that so that you have it as a reference. GLBs, this is the GLB that I'm going to be creating in this tutorial. And then we have color values. So color values is the color value for the gold and a color value for silver, to just make it easy for you to revert back and forth to those colors. But you can actually make this chain any color that you want to make it. And then finally, the helmet's MRE code. And basically, this is the code that will make the chain wearable in the exact same way that I'm going to show you. It's going to be wearable at the end of this tutorial. So it will place it in the exact same spot on the avatar. But you can tweak these values in order to position it the way that you prefer. And if you wear a shirt underneath it or some type of a body underneath it, then you'll need to push it up or out or something like that, just depending on what you have on. So first of all, I will bring your attention to the material properties. We have the base color as number 1. We have the pendant as number 2. And notice that the diamonds material, this one does not have a number on it. And that's because I do not expect you to change this. If you want to mess around with this material, feel free to do so. It's up to you, and I always encourage learning. But the only two you need to worry about are these two. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is switch to the shader editor. And you get to your shader editor from right over here, and then after you hit that little drop down, then select shader editor. And now that I've got the shader editor up, we've got these nodes. So with this selected, this base color, you can either change it right here or over here on this side. And I'm going to change this to, I'm going to change this to the platinum or silver. Go to hex, just replace that value, and you notice that it changes to the silver or platinum. You can also adjust this metallic value. So you've got this metallic value right here that you can adjust it, and you notice that it changes, it gets more and less metallic. If you want it to, you can change this color to any color you want. So you see it's blue, green, whatever color you want it to be. It doesn't have to be, like a traditional color of a rock. And so you can play with those values as you want in order to make it as unique as you want it to be. But I'm going to, for this tutorial, make it this platinum silver color. So next, let's change the pendant. And after selecting pendant, you'll notice you've got these nodes down here. Right now, the AI.png is the image that's in here. You'll just hit the X on that, hit open. Now I'm just going to go to textures, and I'm going to select this texture that I put in here. And because it's a perfect square and I've got Izzy centered, it comes in and it fits perfectly. But let's imagine it doesn't fit perfectly. So in order to make adjustments to it, we have to switch back over to our UV editor. And then let's switch into edit mode. I'm going to hit Alt-A to make sure that we don't have anything selected. The first thing I'm going to do is browse and select the image that is actually the image that we're using in the pendant, and then finally hit select. Now that everything is selected, I can hit S and I can scale back, and notice that because mine is almost the perfect size, it repeats. But we can zoom in. So let's imagine I want to just put her face in the middle. I'm going to hit G to drag, hit S to scale, G to drag, to grab, excuse me, drag. So I'll put her face right there. Now imagine you needed to rotate it, so you could just hit the R key and then that'll rotate. Okay, object mode, so now she's rotated to the side like that. So you don't have to bake or anything. All you have to do, make sure that you hit A, go to File, Export, GLTF. I'm going to put this inside of the GLBs folder. If you go to Include, make sure that you've got selected objects and then hit Export. Once you've done that, it will be completed. There we go. You can see that right here. If you have not already seen the helmets MRE tutorial, you can find it here. If you just ask Izzy, say helmets, she will find the AltspaceVR Unity Uploader and Helmets MRE full tutorial for you. Just click that and you will be able to watch from beginning to end all of the steps necessary in order to turn this into a wearable. And remember, if you have any questions, just hit the help and support and submit a ticket. We will respond to you as soon as we can.